Welcome back to the Foundry by Forge College. I am absolutely thrilled to jump right into today's explainer, where we're tackling the ultimate final capstone, building a socially recoverable, gas-abstracted smart wallet. If you've been following along with the complex architecture, the intense security protocols, and those cutting-edge account abstraction models, well, you know exactly how much work has gone into this. Today is the day we finally bring it all together into a single, flawless deliverable. So think of yourself as a master chef in a really high-end kitchen. You've prepped all your ingredients meticulously, right? You've built out these complex wallet modules, you've got your role manager perfectly coded, the security hardening is totally locked in, and your gas relayer prototype is humming along. But right now, they're really just chopped ingredients sitting on the counter. How do you actually compile them into a professional deliverable? It can honestly feel a bit overwhelming without the right instructions to bring that final dish together. Well, here is what's on the menu today. We're going to start with the final assembly, move into defining done, walk through the step-by-step build, hit our final checkpoints, and finally get everything ready to serve. We're taking that collection of prepped code and serving up a truly production-ready Web3 deliverable. All right, part one, the final assembly, gathering your mise en place. Look, all the hard structural prep work is entirely behind you. Our main goal right now is to integrate these incredible artifacts you've already built. The comprehensive wallet creation logic, the user roles configuration, those heavily audited security protocols, and your deployment strategy into a single repository layout. We're definitely not just dumping code into a folder here. We're wiring it up with build and deploy automation so it actually functions as one cohesive professional unit. And that brings us to a massively important concept, deployment reproducibility. Think of this like a foolproof baking recipe. It guarantees that whether you're baking this cake in your own home kitchen or a sous chef is doing it in a massive commercial oven, it comes out perfectly every single time. In Web3 development, if you can't consistently recreate your staging environment locally and in your continuous integration pipeline, you're basically risking a waiter dropping your beautiful dish right on the way to the table. We absolutely need that consistency. Moving right along to part two, defining done. The master chef's standards. Before we write a single new line of integration code, we have to understand the exact acceptance criteria that define a successfully plated capstone. Acceptance criteria are, simply put, your quality control checklist. It is not enough to just say, well, it works on my machine. These are measurable standards that prove everything from your security modules to your social recovery mechanisms to the gas abstraction layer is functioning flawlessly. Every single one of these criteria must map directly to a tangible test, an artifact, or a piece of documentation. Think of your validation matrix as your ultimate cheat sheet for reviewers and, honestly, for your future self. It all maps so perfectly. How do we actually prove code-based integration? We look at the CI logs and the build badge. How do we know for sure role management works? We check the unit tests and that role migration script. Every single piece of criteria has a concrete proof artifact and a very specific place where it runs. If you want to know what a professional-grade Web3 submission looks like, this is it. Let's dive into part three, step-by-step build. It's time to write the recipe. So, let's patiently and deliberately combine our ingredients. Step one, we prepare our integration branch. You'll create a new branch, let's just call it capstone/final, and merge your roles, recovery, and relayer branches right into it. Step two, ensure a canonical repo layout. That just means your folders are organized logically. Contracts, scripts, tests, and docs are exactly where reviewers expect to find them. Step three, run that full unit test suite to catch any sneaky regressions. And step four, wire up the migration and seeding scripts so your staging environment initializes perfectly with the right roles and relayer configs. You know, taking the time to master these specific integration and deployment techniques is really what separates the amateurs from the professionals. And honestly, perfecting this process is just a tiny taste of the broader, super comprehensive Web3 learning programs available. If you think of this as high-level culinary training, then the courses over at Forge College are absolutely the best place to refine those exact skills and seriously elevate your engineering game. All right, let's round out the final 4 steps of our build. Step 5 is bundling deployment artifacts into idempotent scripts, basically commands that can run multiple times without throwing errors. Step 6, run your deterministic end-to-end tests against your staging environment. Step 7 is absolutely crucial. Produce comprehensive documentation. This is writing down the recipes so your operations engineer, your sous chef, can run the smart wallet without calling you at 2 a.m. for ad hoc help. Finally, step 8, create the tagged release and your submission checklist. Which brings us to part 4, the final checkpoints. Time for the taste test. We've built the deliverable, but now we have to run some concrete checks to ensure every single part of the final product meets expectations before we serve it to the world. And the magic number here? 0. Literally, just 0. When you're running your continuous integration pipeline and those full end-to-end smoke tests, 0 is the exact exit code you want to see. It means everything built beautifully, every test passed, and there are absolutely no errors in your pipeline. Let's break down those specific checkpoints. First up, role verification. Your seed script needs to complete, and your queries must return the exact correct roles for your users. Second, security tests. The big thing here is that rejected operations must produce the correct revert reasons. Your system shouldn't just vaguely fail. It needs to fail safely and tell you exactly why. And third, the recovery flow. We need cold, hard proof that a simulated Guardian process actually restores control of the wallet. Next up, we check the relayer flow to make sure it's accepting requests and seamlessly updating that final state. But honestly, the final checkpoint might be the most important one of all, the documentation sanity check. The true test of success is handing your README over to a colleague, a totally fresh set of eyes, and seeing if they can deploy your entire staging environment from scratch, using nothing but your written guide. If they can pull that off, you've succeeded. And finally, part 5. Ready to serve, plating your capstone. I really want to congratulate you here. Assembling a single, reproducible, highly complex Web3 deliverable is a huge achievement, and I absolutely love this quote, "Automation is the signal of production readiness." It so brilliantly illustrates our ultimate goal. Having reproducible scripts and deterministic end-to-end tests proves that your smart wallet can safely, reliably handle complex role management and social recovery operations entirely automatically. Because, let's face it, if it requires a human to constantly manually intervene, it's simply not ready for production. To sum all of this up, here are the key takeaways from this explainer. First, composability. You have to ensure that earlier modules remain fully testable, even after they're integrated together. Second, automated CI pipelines are what actually verify your production readiness. And third, clear, comprehensive documentation bridges that massive gap between the engineering team that built it and the operations team that has to manage it. These right here are the true hallmarks of a professional Web3 developer. You have built an incredible foundation today, but of course, the learning doesn't stop here. I highly recommend continuing your educational journey by checking out forge.college to explore more content, push your skills even further, and really dive deeper into advanced smart wallet architecture. It's just an amazing resource to help you take that next giant leap in your career. Because here's the thing. Now that your on-chain foundation is completely rock solid, securely deployed, and flawlessly documented, what happens when we start feeding it off-chain data and oracles? How do we actually expand this wallet's capabilities into the real world without weakening any of its hardened security? Well, that is exactly what we're going to be exploring next time. Until then, keep building, keep testing, and I will see you in the next explainer.